Recently, we had the opportunity to work on behalf of a place in downtown Indianapolis called Tapper's Arcade Bar. A company called Teardrop Productions hired me to come help them make a single take drone video, kind of showcasing the expansion that they had just recently done, and in creating this, nice, succinct little opportunity for people to check out like all of the new additions that they've made to their bar. A lot happened behind the scenes that you can't see in the final production version, and I kind of wanted to kind of show you a couple of little sneaky things that happened throughout that production. So hopefully you've got some coffee with you. Sit back, enjoy. Right here I've got all of the original files from this session. I accidentally took some stills here, and you can see that we had roughly 20 takes. Not all of these are not all of them we actually flew or anything like that, but I'm gonna skip right down towards the end when we've kind of finally got the take that we wanted, and you can see scrolling through here, that's all the footage. I think this is actually the one we went with. So I'll bring that into my timeline here just so we can play around with it. And this is pre-color and everything like that. And so what essentially we would do is we would start outside the bar. I would have it lined up outside, and I was trying to see if I could see where I was standing relative to everybody else. So like inside the bar, I was standing pretty much, so you see this X-Men machine, right there. So this is the door that we're gonna fly through, and I'm literally like wedged in behind this. Actually, no, I'm on this side. I pulled this chair over here, and I'm sitting in the chair right there, kind of hidden behind the X-Men machine. So the drone will basically pass like right in front of me, and you just barely don't see me. So that'll be pretty funny. So yeah, so we set the drone outside and do a quick, check, make sure that nobody's coming either way. We've got spotters standing in the windows right here, looking out into the street to make sure there's no traffic. It actually worked out perfectly because that day that street right out front was technically shut down to through traffic, so only like local traffic was allowed to hang out. So if we skip forward here a little ways, when I get the call to go or to get into the A position, I head over here to the sign and I start hovering. And right there in the background, you can see the car that the talent arrives in. And so when I get the go, I just go from this hovering position into that slow move forward and then hit the sign and kind of duck under it. What's funny is that for the whole day, this is a bank next door. These guys in here were like, what is going on, all day long. Eventually we brought them over and bought them a beer, so it was good, but it was just like, ugh. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so hit the sign, head over to the car. The car was actually probably the hardest part of the shoot in terms of like hitting the actual obstacle, because there's a little bit of a breeze outside and I would constantly get blown into the side. But once we nailed that shot, it's just started to look, it's just an awesome way to start that little video. So as soon as I'm through, the car is driving off to the side and around behind the building, and the driver is talent that show up later in the video. So he's like doing this multiple take. It's pretty funny. So we follow these two guys in. They're great. They're just hamming it up all day long. Super fun. Having the guy open the door for both him and me was really useful. So you can see me right there, just barely. Didn't quite get me out of the frame, but it is what it is. You can see all my stuff too. Like those are my keys and my coffee and my phone. This guy showed up and helped out. One thing about these 1980s computer screens is this, like that shimmer is really annoying. There's actually a really easy way to fix that, and I think essentially what you do is, so if I do an unlink here and I bring this up, so I'm going to duplicate that layer, and then I'm going to move it forward 1 frame. And then I'm going to set the opacity to 50%. And this the trick doesn't always work, but it usually does. And it gets rid of that shimmer. So if you ever have to deal with that, just know that there's a way. It looks a little funny on still images, but it doesn't. You don't see that when it's playing. Is this right? Maybe this isn't what I thought it was. Maybe I moved it too much. But you can see that shimmer is almost gone, so you just like play with that until you get rid of it. Maybe I moved it more than 1 frame, or maybe I needed to go 2 frames or something. I don't remember. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it right now. There's some trick to do that. Anyway, so hit the car gap, follow these guys in. Now, most of the people that showed up for this shoot, like, these are all talent. They're not. We didn't hire them. We offered them free beer, but they had never seen a drone like this fly before. So this guy was super brave. This guy was real nervous at the beginning of the day, but handled it like a champ. And so we figured out his little skill there. And pretty much every beer he poured went to this guy, and this guy was totally trashed. It was awesome. Another thing that's happening here, and what we wanted to kind of show off was like just we didn't want everything to kind of like just jump into the frame randomly. So like this guy here, he's actually one of the owners, is heading off into the distance, but we wanted you to see him now with his tray and his drinks like ahead of time and early. And then we come around the corner, show him delivering the beer. We're super excited. I don't know why he's wearing a bunny costume, and then boom, Tappers branding right there. This guy was super embarrassed that he like pretty much like walked right into this guy, but you can't see it because it happened so fast. But this was our favorite take, so we just ended up going with it. He's like, "Ooh!" And then right over the guy's shoulder, up to the Tappers logo. This is the bar, the name of the bar, all of their cool things. Pause for a second, then head back. Here's that guy with the tray again. He's walking into the back. He's got that branding on. He's the owner. He's delivering those drinks. These guys are looking pumped. And then now we're entering the space. Like, right, we're showing off this location. We're showing off the, this bar and the expansion that they've just had. And so this section now is, this is what we're here to show off how big the space has gotten. So flying around back, this guy's hamming it up. He's a co-owner as well of the bar. He pretty much makes and repairs and maintains all of the machines in the place. He's just a genius when it comes to working on that kind of stuff, and he's just a great guy altogether. So we loved getting him a good little cameo in here with the guns shooting at the screen. Show these guys again, they're clinking their glasses. This is the Uber driver. He's back into the shot. He ran all the way around behind the building and got inside just in time. He would actually change machines based on like how fast he got there. So like he would hit this machine if he was like really pushing his luck, and you hit this machine if he had a little bit extra time. So it was great. And these guys were just like from across the street, but you know, now we're showing off all this extra space, all these badass pinball machines. I don't know much about pinball, but I understand that some of them are like collector's items, like big deal pinball machines. So this woman right here is the producer. She's been running around behind the drone for the entire thing. You haven't seen her yet. And then once we got into this room, because there was nowhere for her to escape, she just jumped in scene and got onto that machine. So like if we go back, you'll see that she's not at that machine when we enter the room. So we're right there, because she's like right off screen here. And as soon as I make this turn, she'll be at the machine. Oh, never mind. I guess she comes in a little bit later. But yeah, so she's kind of always off camera, directing everything, making sure that everything's going on. Got all this beautiful art on the walls. A local artist came in and did those big murals, you know, some Super Mario references, some Kirby, some Mortal Kombat and stuff. Anyway, so the producer's there, and then this was a last-minute addition that we had to land on the tray. Something I came up with it at the last minute, but I was like, oh, it would be so cool if like he's walking back and we landed on the tray, just to kind of add like that extra little bit of flair, right? Like when I'm doing shoots like this, it's all about, you know, how do we do stuff that a normal camera can't do, you know, or how do you do stuff that like a gimbal can't do. And so when I saw this opportunity to land on the tray as he's walking it back to the kitchen, it's like, yeah, let's do that. Now, when a drone lands on a tray, the squirt's heavy, remember, it's like 500 grams. So I don't know if you can see it in this frame, but like the tray is literally like taped to his hand. Like we just got out a bunch of gaff tape and just like taped up his hand onto the tray so that it wouldn't fall off when the drone landed on it. He's not just like a badass server, like we had to tape it to him. Yeah, and then, you know, at the end of the shot here, everybody's sitting there enjoying their beer, and we come in for this sliding landing, and whatcha, this is the Tappers game. This is the Tappers, you know, for whatever reason they have like Lego versions of themselves, and you can see the producer walking back into frame over here, and I don't know if you can hear it, but we're all cheering because we finally nailed like a really, really good take of that. So yeah, it was an awesome experience to shoot the Tappers bar. I was super pumped with how that product turned out, so I wanted to just share that with you really quick. So appreciate you taking the time to come hang out and check this out. You know, it's definitely go follow Tappers Arcade on Instagram, as well as Tier.Pictures, who hired me to put this video together. Not this video, but the shot. And you know, be sure to give them love, tell them I sent you, and say hi, and stay flying.